Hey, welcome back to another episode of the best t-shirt I ever printed. And today I'm so happy to have my good friend JT, Jonathan Tynes with Kickprint in Pacific, Missouri, who's going to share his best t-shirt that he ever printed. How you doing today, Jonathan?
I'm doing good, Marshall. Rock on, man. Let's do this.
All right, so what type of secret awesomeness do you have for us today?
All right. So this one was kind of hard when you asked me what's the best t-shirt you ever printed. It was a toss-up between two shirts. There was one shirt that we printed that was a test for a large client. That t-shirt was definitely the most challenging. It was 8 colors, gradients, high DPI. It was very, very complex, but it landed us a job that paid us over $200,000. So that one there was a client that paid us $200,000. It was a really large client, and just that one shirt alone, they loved it so much that they used us. But I don't think that was the winner, even though that sounds like a pretty dadgum good shirt.
It sounds like a great shirt. I'm disappointed we're not going to hear about that, but you've got something even better.
Even better, man. And what's funny is it's just one color. Oh, there we go. One color t-shirt that's behind me that says, I choose faith over fear. And the reason why this was my favorite one is because the one that we made a bunch of money on was like 3 or 4 years ago. This one was just a few months ago at the beginning of the pandemic. And just like most screen printers, we had, everyone was freaking out. I had almost accepted that, okay, that's it. I'm probably going to go out of business, or, I don't know. I was just kind of, the sky was falling in my world. And I got on Facebook and I just threw a big old pity party. And someone in our industry who is actually like a contract printer reached out to me and was like, hey, man, I don't know if you know this, but I lean on your post for positivity, and you're dragging me down by being, real negative. And maybe you should rethink, because you got a lot of blessings in your life. And I just like, holy cow, man, like this dude has a lot to lose. And here he is, more positive than me. So I went home. I was thinking about like, hey, you know what? I choose to have faith. And that doesn't necessarily mean, faith in God. That could be faith that there's a better day coming. For me, it's faith in God. But I decided to do this faith over fear. So I posted this on Facebook. Very simple design, as you can see. It's nothing elaborate. It's just white discharge on a black t-shirt, and posted on Facebook. And I said, everyone, I'm very sorry for my pity party, but I'm going to be putting this t-shirt on tomorrow, printing it for myself. And this is really a message to me. If you want one, I'll be more than happy to get you one. So I logged out, and me and my wife went on the back deck of the house and was just talking, kind of praying, kind of whatever, just trying our best to grasp what was going on in our business after dozens and dozens and dozens of canceled orders. And so we decided like, hey, there's probably never going to be a time when our community is hurting more, where people are more scared than right now. Like, we may never encounter this much fear ever in our life ever again. And so if we ever want to help people, now's that time. And yeah, we can't help everyone, but maybe if we can give them a t-shirt that gives them something to believe in, or just makes them feel good about whatever, just lifts their spirits during 2020, then let's do it. And so I said, we're going to give away some of these. So what's weird is we gave the option. We built an Inksoft store, and the store that we built, we put the coupon code up in the banner and said, if you can't pay for it, here's the coupon code. If you're local, you get it literally 100% free. If you're not local, then you just got to pay for the shipping. So here's what's really interesting. I was expecting, okay, we're about to give away a bunch of shirts in a time that I really can't afford to, but I'm using this time just to give. And it's astounding that almost hardly anyone was getting them for free. Almost everyone was paying for it. Then something even more amazing started happening is people were commenting and saying, hey, I'd love to have one, but I can't afford it. And so these people were Venmoing, Cash Apping, PayPaling money to other people in the comments, and was paying for their shirt. I mean, literally by the dozens. So we started having local people. Once the shirts got printed, people were coming by that got the free shirts. So long story short, the shirts, the campaign sold 1,014 shirts. that was documented through the website and about 1,200 that wasn't documented through the website. So with that being said, on about 1,200 shirts locally, everybody was coming by to get one. I said, hey, just come by. If we got them in stock, we'll hand you one. So they would come by, text our number with their size, would walk it out to them with a mask, with gloves on at the time. That's what we thought was right to do. And we'd hand them the shirt and says, we hope that you guys make it through this and hope that you survive. And, hope that this does something for you. And most of the time, people would hand us 20, 40, 50, 100, 150 bucks and just for a shirt. And I'd be like, oh, no. And it was kind of weird because it was almost like we were like a nonprofit organization or something. I was like, listen, this is not, we're a business. And they go, yes, but you're struggling and you're giving right now. And so we want to bless you. And so it was really such a weird thing because out of that deal, I just pulled the numbers up and just the documented sales, not the undocumented and not the ones that were on the corner. We did $15,566.74, and we only discounted $4,400. So that means we took in $14,244.10, not including the people that were coming by, writing checks and giving cash. So the reason why this is my favorite shirt that we ever printed, one, it was really easy print. But two, it created so much viral or virility. I don't know if that's a real word, but let's just say it's a real word, viral loop to our business because we started putting a letter in the bags and it said, hey, when you get your shirt, even if you got it for free or not, take a picture, tag our business, and tell the world that you choose faith over fear. And dude, every order of shirts would compound into another order and another order. And so my mind was, how do we turn these customers then into more than just this one time? And so about halfway through, I wish we did it in the beginning, we decided to put a landing page in front and change the URL. And the squeeze page said, do you want your shirt for free or do you want to pay for it? And it says, name, email, yes, I want my shirt for free. Well, if you know anything about funnels or squeeze pages or anything, you know that put them on our email list. So he was able to collect 900 email addresses. And because people thought they were using that to get their receipt, it was their actual email address versus their spam email address. And so we then, when we moved into Mask, we took the texting number and the email number and marketed it to that same group of people. And we sold 10,000 masks as a result to the Faith Over Fear crowd. So it was actually astounding. Still to this day, we have people that's friend requests to me. I have people tagging me in Faith Over Fear. They think that we invented the Faith Over Fear shirt saying. We did not. This was actually a sermon title from a preacher, and now everybody is wearing these shirts. We did not come up with it. It's not ours, of course, but it's just created such like ecstatic fans that would fight a grizzly bear over kick print because we just gave them a t-shirt. And so we put our logo on the sleeve. I don't know if you can see that. Put our logo on the sleeve. I figure, crap, we're giving away these shirts. And I asked our audience, I said, would you think it'd be tacky if we put the logo on the sleeve? And they said no. So we did it and no one complained. And man, we've got tons of calls. We got bulk orders from people seeing the shirts. So this is my favorite shirt we've printed at least up to this point.
That's just amazing, JT. And what I really love about this story is the fact that it was from your soul, from your gut. It's just something that happened because you were reacting to a very uncomfortable situation, and it just grew, and you were able to kind of use something and keep moving forward. And that's what I think a lot of people didn't do coming or emerging from the pandemic, is taking these steps forward. And that's why they're probably out of business, right? Yeah. It's just because they didn't do anything. And of course, as t-shirt people, as decorators, like that's our medium, that's what we do. And you used it, I think, the right way. And the other thing that I would say here is that you did a really great thing by understanding that you're selling to your customers' emotions, right? And you're not you didn't market this as, it's 100% pre-shrunk cotton and it comes in these sizes and this is the color and this, all
Right.
the features and benefits, right? Which is where a lot of people, that's the avenue they choose to go down. You played on that emotional link where, you know what, we need to stand strong. We need to stay together, and you built a little community around it. And kudos to you, man. You did a great job with it. And that's the reason why I wanted you on the show, was to tell that story, right?
Thanks. Yeah, and there was a few things I learned. We actually, right after we did this, we tried to recreate this effect. And so we did one. A lot of people were, and this one, I will caution you, we made a mistake right after the shirt with the follow-up shirt. The follow-up shirt was, it was when everyone started feeling like the COVID-19 solutions were becoming worse than the problem. And that was the big thing, especially around here in Missouri and other places. They're like, man, we can't go anywhere. Our businesses are failing. I know quite a few businesses that went out of business. And so we had started seeing like all these people very passionate about their freedom and all this stuff. So we created a USA flag one that says, I choose freedom over fear. It sold 3 shirts or 4 shirts and had to end up sending it to a DTG contractor. But more importantly is we got a little bit of negative press that I had to put the fires out because I was trying to recreate something. I think what made I Choose Faith Over Fear such a success was that it was authentic. It wasn't used to try to generate income, even though it generated a lot of income, a lot of leads. Our email list grew. That wasn't the reason for it. And also we told a story with it. With Freedom Over Fear, it was like, hey, here's a shirt. And people were like, oh, so you're going to, you're basically saying this. And they started, because it had American flag on it, it said freedom over fear. People just assumed that we were making a political statement, and it was really tacky. And so I took it down. I had it up like 12 hours and I was like, screw this. This is stupid. So I took that down. But the faith over fear one went on for literally months. And just recently we ended the campaign. We ended it because people now we can't get the shirt to move. So it was definitely a flash in the pan, but I think the ingredients that made this a success it was authentic. I did not sell anything. I was trying to give away a shirt, but I was telling a story. So in the post, I told the story of, hey, this happened, that happened. I felt bad. I had a pity party. I cried. I was on the deck with the same story I just told. I told that on my Facebook post, and people related to it, and then it moved them. So it's kind of the whole Russell Brunson thing of hook, story, offer. And so we hook them with the free shirt and then tell them the story of why we're offering it, and then made the offer of, if you can pay for it, do it. We did add one thing to our online store that generated a lot of revenue, and it was pay it forward. It was buy a shirt for someone else. So we actually would have people buy a shirt and then buy another shirt for someone they didn't even know. And that actually compounded the sales. And that's where the store really started, not only getting donations, not only getting the sales from the shirt, but people were buying the shirt rather than getting it for free, and then buying it for someone that they didn't even know. And they were just trusting that we would actually give the shirt. And so it was absolutely incredible. I've now kind of going over this formula. I figured out that there is a formula and a blueprint to making these viral shirts work. And really it's got to be a good story. It's got to be a strong hook. It's got to be a message that people actually believe. So if you are really trying hard to sell a shirt or to push this, if you're trying too hard, it's going to look unauthentic and it's not going to work. So I do think that these are great. If you see something in the community happen, utilize it and do it from your heart. Don't do it from your billfold, which was actually really hard at the beginning of the pandemic. And we really only did it because I was like, there's not going to be another time when people are more in need of a message of hope. So here it is. So that's my favorite shirt. I almost picked the one that gave us, the 200,000 plus in sales, but really that was just, printing a bunch of shirts. This one, we got stories. We had people calling. What was really weird is the emotion of people. Someone called me one day. I didn't really know how to handle this. He was like, I just want to say that, I was on I'm dealing with drugs. I'm dealing with extreme depression, and now I can't leave the house. And this shirt changed my life. I really don't know how it changed his life, but it did. And he was just sobbing on the phone, and I didn't know what to say. I'm a screen printer, man. I'm a t-shirt guy, so I'm not really, there to coach someone through their emotional stuff. But I just listened to him, and it was just a real moment when people were very, very afraid, and this literally cloth with ink on it changed people's life. And so it is my favorite shirt that we've ever printed.
Well, it's my favorite shirt that you ever printed too, just because of that story and
Cool,
the
man. Thank you.
impact. And I'm glad you picked this one over the one that made you a bunch of money.
Me too.
Because I think this is the 30 years from now, which one are you going to remember better?
Yeah,
Right?
definitely this one, I think. And it's people still, yesterday someone tagged me in something that was said faith over fear. It just said it in the meme, faith over fear. And I'm like, cool, man, that's awesome. But people still associate me with the faith over fear. So we're looking at taking the audience that we built with this and doing more with it, maybe doing a shirt club, doing something like that. So that's the thing too, is make for sure if you do this, you find a lead capture form. Don't just send them to an e-commerce page. That's what we did. We missed out on about probably 500 or 600 people that probably would have filled out the form just to get the free shirt that we could still be marketing to, that we missed out on. And so we tried to get them with retargeting pixels and all that. But, a lot of times when they click off the page, they're gone forever. So try to get their info to then remarket to them. And that's my marketing advice along with it.
Good. Great tip. And thank you so much for the story, JT. Love hearing it. Take care.
You too, man. Thank you.